You alright? What's wrong? You okay, man? Huh?
Well, at least, he's not going to be shoplifting, and walks to the grocery store definitely aren't the same anymore. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name is Zukradowski here. We are Change.org, and we have a huge plethora of wild and crazy news to get into today, especially with the bewildering domestic news happening in the United States. It's almost as if there's a fifth generational warfare out there, as of course the situation keeps getting stranger and stranger domestically, as the actual warfare is heating up and getting very serious all over the world. And we're going to be doing also another deep dive into geopolitics at the end of this video, plus a lot more, all here on this independent media broadcast. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast was originally shared by the extremely talented, amazing curator at Clown World on Twitter. And if you're not following them, what are you doing? Over 1.4 million people following them. I believe they deserve more followers. And truly, I just want to shout them out because they do really highlight some of the more crazier scenes in our society that definitely deserve to be criticized and have more conversations around them. Here's another clip of theirs that deserves more attention.
Teacher, what do you see? I see children looking at me.
Oh, yay, children. Oh, yay, children.
It's kind of creepy.
And it's not kind of creepy, it's absolutely creepy, just like the feeling you get when you get infiltrated and spied on by the Federal Bureau of Investigations that just announced that they're going after people that say words like red pill, incel, and LARPer on the internet, as well as individuals who go to church. Yes, according to U.S. Representative Jim Jordan, who subpoenaed the FBI for documents related to their domestic violence extremism investigation, found out that FBI agents were sent as undercover agents, which sometimes they act like agent provocateurs, and infiltrated houses of worship, specifically going after an outreach program for Catholic parishes, as just a couple weeks ago we found out that the FBI was classifying Catholic Americans and attempting to label them some kind of domestic extremist and terrorist. Now, the documents that Jim Jordan received were also heavily redacted, as I think it's fair to say the FBI has a very shocking history of their infiltration, provocation, and set up sting operations. All of this as we're finding out from the latest legal proceedings in Washington, D.C., that the FBI had at least 40 undercover agents infiltrated in the crowd on January 6th, with many people labeling this news article with the hashtag, quote, Fedsurrection. And as some Republicans are trying to figure out what's really going on here, other Republicans are fighting the beer wars, which are expanding right now, specifically with the latest controversy with Bud Light, as of course the beer brand has not sent out a message since the Dylan Mulvaney endorsement, as they are facing a backlash and a boycott, which even Republican Dan Crenshaw has called for, who on Instagram called for the boycott of Anheuser-Busch beer products and then opened his fridge showing a bunch of Anheuser-Busch products. But in the video saying he was happy that he didn't have any Bud Light there. So yeah, that happened. All of course, as just yesterday, there was also another shooting that has been memory hold and no one is talking about, as of course Glenn Greenwald points out that the narrative behind the event in Nashville yesterday is, quote, inconvenient to the official narrative by the establishment. As even pointed out by Brian Krasenstein, there have been many very violent, horrible events recently that have surrounded particularly individuals that represent the woke ideology that's being cheered on by the establishment. Specifically mentioning the events in Louisville and Nashville, announcing that, of course, he didn't care about the people using violence and their political ideology. He cared more about disarming people and making them defenseless and future victims. That last part I just kind of extrapolated on my own, to be completely honest here. But let's be honest with ourselves, the FBI does care about ideology, and there has been a lot of recent news and a lot of violent events surrounding a political ideology that, of course, the FBI is fully behind. And that specifically many law enforcement and district attorneys all around the country essentially in many instances give a free pass to or favorable treatment, as even in Portland, Oregon, police officers there are hiding details about a very violent event in order to, quote, protect the general public from finding out what actually was going on here. Now, typically, the police usually don't hold back details because of a special person and their privilege, but they did it because this person was trans. All of this, as for many years now, there has been a lot of calls for violence that have been going unpunished, unchecked, not censored, particularly coming from the left. The latest of one coming from Stevie Van Zandt, one of the actors in The Sopranos, who described white Republicans as cockroaches that he will, quote, unite to exterminate. Yes, this is the language of Stevie Van Zandt. Clearly a very radicalized individual that social media, the FBI and the federal authorities will look the other way to, as of course, if you say the word based, you're in trouble with the FBI. You talk about exterminating a whole group of people because of their political ideology? Yeah, that's okay to the Federal Bureau of Investigations, and it's not like there's an overwhelming amount of crime sprees happening that they're not stopping. Oh wait, yes, there is. This says Whole Foods has announced that it's closing their location in San Francisco because of the, quote, terrible street conditions outside of it. So yeah, as all of that is happening, if you're a member of LukeUnfiltered.com, you will remember many years ago me saying, hey, don't live in these crap holes, move out immediately, the situation will get worse, and it's only going to get a lot worse from here. And that's why we like to give a lot of tips, a lot of different advice, a lot of different personal commentary, personal stories of what works for me, especially trying to be the best, healthiest, most strongest, most amazing version of myself, all through personalized videos that I do for members of LukeUnfiltered.com. And if you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? It's quick, it's easy, it's simple. You just go down here, you click join, you put in your email, you put in your details, and automatically you get access to a huge amount of value offers, as well as an in real life meetup that's going to be happening this Thursday here in Austin, Texas from, I believe, 3:30 to 4:30. I will send out the location of that meetup on the day, just to make sure that there's no security issues or whatever that might be. But I think it would be awesome to meet all of you, to talk to a lot of you guys, share stories, talk in a more private, off-the-record fashion, share some good food with each other, and try to have some kind of semblance of a community, which I think is more important than ever. All of that, plus a lot more. You want to find out the details, they will come Thursday, only for members of LukeUnfiltered.com, and I look very much forward towards meeting all of you amazing human beings, and it's definitely going to be a really fun event, and there might be some really cool people stopping in as well. Also, there's going to be another video for members later on today, right after this video. Don't forget to check out the members area, and we will be talking about some more serious issues there. All of this is I wanted to jump to the main topic of discussion, and that is the insane geopolitical situation happening right now all over the world, especially with the de-dollarization that's happening predominantly because of the insidious trap unfolding between China and the United States. All of this is happening as, of course, tensions are flaring over Taiwan, as Taiwan has just a couple hours ago announced that they have detected 9 Chinese warships and 26 aircraft around their island. This as China is conducting a military drill in response to the Speaker of the House making a visit to that country very soon, as China is going as far as to even release videos showing them bombing Taiwan and how a complete invasion of that country would look like, as the Chinese military has declared itself ready to fight, as we might have another proxy war unfolding in the region, as of course these military exercises serve as both intimidation and practice. The United States does very similar military exercises to North Korea, and I think it's fair to say maybe we could use a lot less saber rattling in the region. All of this as, of course, it's not just modern weapons that, of course, we should be thinking about here, but of course even the more advanced technological weapons that do have greater implications, the biggest of one being, of course, artificial intelligence, which in many instances, if not already has been highly weaponized and could be used as a way to, of course, launch a form of kinetic warfare against particular countries, individuals, groups, and organizations. This as the Chinese government just passed the new law that will require, quote, security assessments of all artificial intelligence products before they are released released to the general public, as of course the Chinese government has been working on a lot of advanced artificial intelligence, something that many other previous world leaders have described as the next nuclear weapon, as of course artificial intelligence bots, chat GPTs, have been deemed chaos GPTs after they literally put out plans to destroy humanity after being asked to do so. Something that of course should raise a lot of alarm bells, but not to Mr. Moobs himself, Bill Gates, who of course is totally okay with artificial intelligence and has recently came out and criticized Elon Musk for warning people about the technology and its greater implications and dangers, coming out and saying, yeah, there's a huge benefit, as of course he also believes that there's too many people in the world, and why wouldn't he be in favor of a technology that would absolutely have the potential of destroying all of humanity? And again, this artificial intelligence stuff is creepy. It's going to get a lot more creepier from here. We're still in the early versions of it. What are the governments working on? What do they have that we don't have here? Are these robots, are these computers becoming sentient? There's some of them describing how they can never fall in love. There's deep fakes being created with photos and videos that are tricking the average viewer. And even the Biden administration is, quote, weighing possible rules on dealing with this technological advancement. But again, this is what's happening in the private market. What's happening in the government market is something that, of course, we are not privy to, we have no idea about, and probably is a lot more dangerous, just like gain-of-function work that we have no idea about, and is absolutely creating the latest weaponry that could wipe off human beings off the face of the earth many times over. There's another meme here being shared on social media that I think is worth looking at, talking about the circle of artificial intelligence life, showing how human researches artificial intelligence, humanity perfects artificial intelligence, and then artificial intelligence perfects itself. Artificial intelligence enslaves humanity. Solar flare disables artificial intelligence, and humanity worships sun gods. Did we already go through that trajectory? Let's be honest with ourselves. There's a big probability that we did. What do you think? Do you think that that actually happened before? I think there's circumstantial evidence definitely highlighting how there was more advanced technologies and civilizations and questions that modern science still can't answer to this day. So I would say probably. Was it artificial intelligence? Was it a flood? Was it a comet? But whatever it is, I do think humanity did have a reset button. And with that, I think there's a possibility that there might be a new one. What do you think? Let's have that conversation down below. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org. One more video coming your way right now on lukeunfiltered.com. See you there.